We all have what I call spiritual tribe, spiritual lineages, spiritual posterity, as it were. The covenant of the fathers. Covenants. It is one of the greatest covenants for divine exemption. Now, this is all about entering into covenant with God to be a partaker of his covenant with your fathers. Enter into covenant with God to be a partaker of his covenant with your fathers. Enter into his covenant with his father's covenants. Now, this is deep. I hope you see it. This is deep. I hope you see it. That's all. You think I'm a figurehead? I'm not a figurehead. I'm a spiritual head. And you are made a spiritual head by covenants. And all you just need to do is just enter into covenant with God, and then with the covenant that he has with your father's covenant. So God, your covenant with him, let it answer to me. The covenant with him, that's what happened. Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. That's the mystery behind it. The covenant with your father's covenant. Listen. If you keep me as your pastor, I'll remain your pastor. Keep me as your mentor, I'll remain your mentor. Keep me as your friend, I'll remain your friend. Keep me as your brother, I'll remain your brother. Keep me as whatever, I'll remain that. If you don't discover me as a father and my covenant with God and subscribe to that covenant, there are things you can't take delivery of. Now, not that you have to pass through me, that's not what I'm talking about. It is just that you have to fortify your God's commitment to you. So he doesn't bother with you anymore. He just thinks about his son, the covenant. You know, I pray you don't twist this. I pray you understand this. Because a carnal mind will twist this. This is not about magnifying a man. This is about understanding the mystery of covenants. The covenants that God has with fathers. I pray you understand this. Because that's what makes the difference. That's what makes the difference. You can be everything, sir. If you don't become a son, you can't enjoy covering. Always reassess your father-son connection. Always reassess it. Always reassess it. Once you sense that there's no more flow the way it used to be, pursue restoration. Is somebody hearing me? Once you perceive that the flow, now it's a spiritual thing, you will know. Once you perceive that the flow is no more the way it used to be, pursue restoration. There is so much in God's covenant with his prophets. There is so much in it. There is so much in God's covenant with his prophets. There is so much in God's covenant with his prophets. It has nothing to do with their age or their size or how long in ministry. It has everything to do with the mandate God has placed on them. People don't become vagabonds in destiny by accident. You see people, once the covering is lifted over them, they will spend the rest of their lives going like this. Now listen, sir. What the covenant does for you is that it makes you work smart and you do not work hard. Did you hear what I said? What did I say, sir? Sir, you don't work like a laborer. You work by inspiration. That's what the covenant does for you. You don't wear your life out struggling. You don't work like there's no God on your side. Now, I'm talking about not working hard, but working smart, just by connecting with the covenant of the Father's covenant. And that's how it works. Thank you, Jesus. Now listen, sir. Until you become a son of the prophet, you cannot partake of the covenant. So, the gateway to God's covenant with the fathers is connection with the prophets.